Round 6 is over and upgrade season has arrived. This is Five Names speaking. We've upgraded the Phantom, actually. He's out. Phantom's done.
He's gone.
It's upgrade season. We upgraded him to Daddsy.
Hell yeah.
Dossy wanted to do the intro. I said, no, I'm taking Phantom's seat. I'm taking the intro off you.
Yep.
Chief, how are you?
I'm going well. Yeah, we have upgraded the fan. Unfortunately, we'll get to. There's plenty of fan content to come. Don't you worry about that. But it's great to have Daddsy on board. Although, to be fair, probably wouldn't have invited you had I known you were going to be top of the pod on arrival.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, old smud Dossy. If everyone hasn't seen the Chief's work on social media, just chirp me after getting the late adjustment. I thought we had the draw in our whatever matchup we would have, and then late adjustment. Dossy got his hand on the champion data points, got a couple of extra points and beat me, and then absolutely carried on. And now he thought he was going to be top of the pod.
It was just a 1 point victory, but it was scaled to be a 3 point W. So we'll take what we can get around these parts. But yeah, the big discussion, you mentioned it's upgrade season, 5 names off the top. I'm not 100% sure we're there just yet.
Nah.
It's probably the topic that we're going to be talking about this episode. Can we upgrade to those big premiums? Is it time? Is it time to cash out on some of these cash cows that we've been developing and nurturing over the first few rounds? Because it's a bit of an awkward week, but we're going to get to all those topics and more to come in this show. But let's talk about the round that was. And I suppose we better start with the top of the pod, Daddsy. How's your season been going and what did you score this week?
Scored a 22.86 DOS, so getting up there.
Very nice.
It has been a very poor season though. Like it has for a lot of people. There's been a lot of injuries, a lot of forced trades. Made the call to get rid of Zorko and Noah Anderson in the same week and brought in Zach Bailey, who dropped 52.
Yeah, that's not ideal. But
wasn't ideal. So left points on the board for sure, but no, I'm back up. I'm back up.
Like to see that. Now
What's the overall rank?
It was like 22K.
Oh, sweet. I'm still highest ranked on the pod.
On the rise.
This is good.
On the rise.
This is good.
For Dossy this week, now drink because I just said Dossy, but if we get to me, I got 2190, which as I said, a few more points than old 5 names. So 2190 for me. The season rank up a little bit to 24K, but I'm pretty happy with where I'm at because did that whilst holding Sherry and Noah Anderson. So very keen to see hopefully both of those guys back this week, at least Sherry, but we'll see on Noah Anderson. We'll have to wait and see. 5 names, obviously 3 points shy of that score, but
I just wanted to say I left, I know you held those guys. I left some points on the bench badly. Braden Cook on the bench, Milan on the bench, Todd Marshall on the bench, and I fielded guys like Philippou, Farrow, Jagger, Drill, and all. Yeah, so it was pretty bad.
But
some bad choices by me.
I do want to say, though, 5 names. You're not Bop this week, though. We're both middle of the pod. Okay, we are joint middle of the pod. So not too bad from you. Only 3 points shy of Dossy, but we can say that Phantom, he's not here, but he's still the king of Bop. What did he score this week? 5 names. It wasn't pretty.
No.
It was.
Oh boy.
I've got to look this up. It was a 2069.
Is that why he hasn't come in?
I think that's why he hasn't rocked up. Plenty more to come on Phantom still.
Yeah, we don't. No. If you like the Phantom, he doesn't have many fans, he's got a copy this episode.
But I think we might as well just get straight to Bum of the Week. And it's Phantom. It is the fan. No, let's get to our heroes and villains as well for the week. I got a few heroes. I can kick us off, and I'm going straight to Milan Murdoch, who's been our rookie saviour this week. Went up over 100K on the weekend. One of the biggest price rises in Supercoach history. Not the biggest. Errol Goulden still, I believe, holds that title. Other contenders in that include Michael Barlow. Many people remember the great Supercoach player that Michael Barlow was, and especially in his first year was amazing for Supercoaches, but also Tom McCarthy last year also had a bigger price rise than Milan, but in very good company. I think 4th overall there for Supercoaches. So Milan up there, and also the horny one. Here he is again.
The horny one.
Went early on the great man thinking he may get forward status. He did get forward status, shuffled him forward, and bang. Very happy with that. Back in the midfield as well, so we love to see that.
I was having a look yesterday, obviously for the day job and writing about horny. if you take the round one against North out of the equation, he was underdone, coming off that limited preseason. He's averaging 23 and 2.
Ooh.
Oh,
Wow.
So he's in form.
unbelievable stuff. You got a hero for us? 5 names while you're there?
Yeah, Wayne Miller. I chopped a little bit when I brought him in after one round, and then he did a couple of stinkers, but he's going really well now. Some people, we need to speak about you and your quote cards. Dossy, I don't know if you've noticed, Dossy has been just quote carding himself recently. But when he used to give a shout out to the other members of this pod, he did say, when I joked around that Wayne Miller was maybe the better Miller over Naz. Well, a lot of people came for me.
And he has been lately. So
Naz was very good last week, but no, Wayne Miller has been very good the last 3 weeks. Yeah, I'm very happy with him.
What about you, Daddsy? Who are you shouting out this week?
I'm giving a shout out to Big Bad Bailey Smith on debut for my team.
Wow.
He was one of the guys I brought in for Zorko or Anderson, and he pumped out a 151. Had the VC on him as well. Took that. Didn't get screwed over by the Zakostelsky laid in. So managed to capitalise on that. But yeah, he's fun to watch.
Villains for the week. We might as well go straight into the ZZ loophole. Zakostelsky, you just mentioned it there, Daddsy. But 5 names, I know he would certainly be the Phantom's villain this week because the Phant had him lined up for that loophole, didn't manage to do it, and he is every super coach's villain this week. So many coaches got caught into trying to use the captain loophole. If you don't know how that works, you put the emergency on a playing player and then a non-playing player comes in. You take your vice captaincy by putting the captaincy on the non-playing player. However, Zakostelsky was the late in and in fact played for a score of 29. So hopefully you caught that and at least took the captaincy off if you were going there. But he's got to be every single Supercoach's villain this week, except Raul Dossy, who didn't need to loop him. I had Sherry there. So my villain for the week. We can't go the rookies, and there were plenty of those this week. So I'm going to go with Hayden Young. And it might not even be Hayden Young. It's Justin Longmuir again. 60% time on ground for Hayden Young. Was going to win my bet with the Phantom on who would score more out of Young and Petrarca last week. Young went 88, but he only played 60% time on ground. So Justin Longmuir, my villain for the week. Daddsy?
I'm going to go, it's hard not to go Bont. With that 66
how'd I miss that one?
And that record-breaking break-even.
Yeah.
That is just so high, so astronomically high. He's going to be sub
238.
Oh, how good. How good for the people like me didn't start with Bont. Oh, I can't wait to pick him up cheap.
It's just, it's ridiculous. So I'm going to go him, but I'm also going to go Tanner Bruin, who, he is on the chopping block for a lot of people this week. And rightfully so. That 56, look, he could very easily bounce back against the power, but I'm gonna go those two.
Dossy and I were chatting about him. He actually got a little fair bit of the ball. It was just late.
It was
just late on. So
got hurt by the scaling.
So it isn't. It isn't. The 56 probably doesn't show his actual game. If that makes sense. Honourable mention Josh Zakos, who's been bad pretty much since I traded him. But Clarko, what are you doing to Colby McKercher?
Yeah.
Just maybe he has discovered Cam Zurhaar down bat. That was quite interesting to watch. But Colby, he's putting him everywhere. And actually, I had to say to these, weirdly enough, these young lads have named their group chat after me and wanted a shout out on the pod. So shout out to the guys in the 5 names group chat. But yeah, they were asking me about McCurtain. I was like, no, hold him. He'll be good. 81. So yeah, no, that's not good. Bit of a worry there.
Yeah, I think that's a preview of warning signs to come because a bit of a role change there if you did catch the game for McKercher. We'll talk about him a little bit later, but we will finish off our segment here with the Lair Mare of the week.
I think you touched on it, didn't you?
We've talked about it already, the villains. It was ZZ, Zakostelsky coming in, but the amount of people I saw with screenshots of Brodie Grundy on the bench or even Zakostelsky with the captaincy on for the loophole, it is the danger of playing the loophole game, but anyone that tried to loop and failed this week, you earned the Lair Mare of the week. Congratulations there. Now, if you do want to jump in the Lair League, remember there is still time. We're going to close entries off to that in the next mid-season buy round, so 128532. If you want to jump on the Lair League, take us all on. And there will be a Lair care package of merch for the winner of that at the end of the year. And the other big one for this week, the SuperCoach Cup qualifying round is here. So this is the seeding round for SuperCoach. Many of us, hopefully if you're ranked high enough, have already qualified and gone through to the real official sort of start of the SuperCoach Cup head-to-head. So this is your qualifying round. But this is basically, this week still does count for your seeding for next week. So there's some theories on how to approach this. Now, if there's a way I could maybe, if I do have a bad week, it's already my excuse. I'm just tanking the SuperCoach Cup. I want to take off a top dog. So you'll basically be seeded based on this round, and then next week is when it all kicks off, and you'll be matched up with someone based on your ranking from this week. So it will count, but lots of us are straight through to the next round. And if you're not, make sure you're keeping an eye on SuperCoach. Make sure you are qualified for the first round kicking off next week. We'll be touching on that, and we've got plenty of content around that because we've got some access to see some of the biggest upsets in SuperCoach Cup as well that we'll be touching on the show from a week-to-week basis. So looking forward to that.
Has Fans qualified?
He might be in trouble.
So we've got some breaking news this week, and it is that Tristan Sherry's back for all who held.
Is that your breaking news?
Very happy with that one. As I said as well, we've got to wait to see Noah Anderson, whether he will return as well. But if you held, I think from now, unless it's another couple of weeks or 3 weeks plus, you're going to be holding him from now. There was some hope last week from Damien Hardwick that he would come straight back into the side. So let's see if that comes to fruition. Some sad breaking news, though, is someone that we considered in the preseason would be a top 6 forward, Sam Darcy, suffering the ACL season-ending injury. Devastating for the Bulldogs and devastating for Sam Darcy, who's going to miss a heap of time now. There was also a surprising, random sort of sudden ACL announcement, or still sort of to be confirmed, but Brian Myers looks like he'll be missing significant time as well. So anyone that traded him in as well, and terrible news for Brian and the Cats, but he's looking to miss some time. So keep an eye out on updates around Brian Myers, but not good news there. Vance preseason boy, Sammy Banks, broken collarbone.
Vance has had a really bad week, hasn't he?
No good.
He had that. Pooh's top 6 forward, looks terrible. Traded in Rankin.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he's having the Lair Mare of the week is also Phantom. Just
in general.
Just continues.
Pretty funny.
Libba concussion, and with his history, that's not great news as well. And this isn't really breaking news, but Jordan Ridley done a calf once again, going to miss time. But I think for Jacob Farrow stocks, probably a good thing in Essendon's defence there. Cam Zurhaar swung into defence. Now, he might be mentioned again later in the show, but mentioned some issues for Colby, and it was basically a straight swap. Colby forward, Cam Zurhaar into defence. So one to watch, and one we'll probably touch on again in a bit. The other one, with all the Bulldogs' concerns on the weekend, good to mention Adam Treloar, value forward option that we've been keeping our eye on, had another 40 touches in the VFL. Now, with the Dogs' midfield looking pretty cooked on the weekend and a lot of outs as well, Treloar, could we look at him as an option? I think we'd want the eye test first, but he's now one to watch and potentially a downgrade or a slight upgrade from some of these rookies in a week or two.
Well, he's straight in for the Dogs. He's got to be. He has to be. Yeah. A bit like Ridley, though, can you trust that calf? Can you trust that soft tissue? I personally can't. I'm staying very clear of him, but for draft, be a nice little pickup off the waivers if he's still there.
Oh, yeah, has to be a number one pickup if he's still sitting on your waiver wire for sure. I think we need to keep an eye on him, but yeah, I'm wondering what his role will be. I know, Riley Sanders has kind of stepped up into a bit more of a centre bounce role. Do they even swing? Is Treloar coming in to play midfield? If he does come in, and if he's just playing a forward role, something like that.
Do we finally get the Fraser midfield mini Bond thing?
Do we?
That'd be nice.
Time for some hot topics, and I mentioned it off the top. I want you guys' thoughts, just straight raw thoughts here. Is it upgrade season? Is it really upgrade season? Now, upgrade season for the new to SuperCoach, it's when we kind of settle into our one up, one down sort of trade cadence, if you will, going a rookie down and a rookie up that have fattened up enough so we can get ourselves a premium. But been looking some of the targets, don't know if we're quite there yet, and are the rookies fattened up enough, and do we have enough rookie options on the other end to get us in what we really want in upgrade season?
I'm big on it is always upgrade season. Every single week is upgrade season.
How's your team going this year?
But I'm very confident that no, this is the week. This is the Kickstarter. We've got at least one really good guy on the bubble, Angus Anderson. We'll touch on him later. But I think we've reached a point where the likes of Jai Sarong, Lockie Jakes, Sam Grill, they've all kind of reached that ceiling. And I think you can absolutely part ways with them and bring in a primo and boost your squads.
I think there's still enough value among some of the players as well, especially like, JF. The Horny One's probably one guy, which it still seems to be value, as a forward primo. And as we all know, the forward primos are pretty yuck as well at times. So I think there's still some value there. And while also maybe just plan ahead for some of the real big odd midfielders who are about to come down in price.
Well, let's dive deeper into that hot topic as to is it upgrade season by breaking down both sides of the angle, and let's kick it off with a new segment. Rage Trades.
Nice.
And it is time to see who people are trading out this week to get an idea, and then we might head to a new type of farm to see whether the rookies are really ready to be sent off to slaughter.
We've had hostile takeover.
We have. So the top traded out players at the moment this week, I'll fly through these, then we'll get into our segment. Jai Sarong, Jagger Smith, Lockie Jakes, Devon Robertson, obviously left over from the ACL injury last week, Sam Grill, Tanner Bruhn, Connor Butterick, another injured player from last week, Sam Darcy, unfortunately gone, Matthias Filippo, and strangely, the last one to round out the traded outs is Marcus Bontempelli with that monster break even.
Yeah,
maybe people
Mm.
searching for some cash there, trying to get rid of him, ride the cash wave there. But we need to head to the farm again, and it's not Fance Farm. It is Five Names Farm.
Here we go. We're on the farm.
We're on the farm. Are the rookies ready to be culled? So every one of those rookies are being traded out by coaches desperate to upgrade, desperate to start their upgrade season. Let's go through each one individually and see if they really are ready.
Yeah, let's go through it.
Let's go. Five Names, take it away.
Jai Sarong, I think it's trade. I think 64 break even, playing the derby against GWS, not conditions, it did rain a fair bit there, but other older, I reckon he's one you can trade.
Yep.
Well, yeah, don't mind that.
Can I just say with Sarong, last time he scored a 48, the very next week, 126.
Yeah.
I think I agree though in terms of 64 break even. He's got a wing role. Typically that's not a super high scoring role. It is a little bit more in the new sort of gameplay, but 313k, it's a nice point to jump off.
It does play Marvel, so if you do need to hold him, like you probably can, because also, time we is on the wing, weather's getting a little bit worse. But no, I reckon I'd be training him. Jagger, I actually would give one more week. Still got a little bit, I reckon, to go, 62 break even. He just needs to get his
He just didn't play. 64% time on ground on the weekend, but was back in the midfield, back getting centre bounces. Where are you at, Daddsy, holding Jagger for another week? If you can.
I've been forced into trading him in very unfortunate circumstances, which we will get to later, but it's touch and go.
All right. Lockie Jakes with 250k, he's at now 49 break even. He had the 34 versus the Cats. Didn't look good in that game, unfortunately, but
under the roof this week.
Yep.
Dogs have been absolutely decimated by injuries, so I think you can hold him. I think he should get more of the ball off half back as some of that user, hopefully. I think that's one he should be able to hit that break even.
And could even, if you're not too scarred, could go the loophole option. If we do have any red dots in your defensive line, you could run the gauntlet with another loophole, given he is playing the earlier game.
Plays 7 of the next 9 at Marvel.
Yeah, I think there's still a little bit to go there.
Sam Grill, 297k.
Yeah, I think
53 break even. Sorry, scored a 66 against North, and he's got the D's this week.
Yeah, he's getting. I think the eye test looks pretty good with him most of the time. Like the scoring isn't like amazing, but I think you can still roll with him a little bit longer.
All right, we're saying hold for a lot of these guys though. Does this mean upgrade season maybe not quite as close as we thought? Matthias Filippo though, 244k. Look, he's got a 37 break even, scored a 40 against the Crows on the weekend, but He's got West Coast this week.
That's the only way. No, I reckon that's the only reason why you'd hold him this week. It's just been. We know what he can do. He's just not getting the midfield time. He's just not being that like impact player that we know he can be even when he gets the ball. So yeah, I think you just hope that he can get a good score against West Coast.
A few more here to get through. Jack Carroll, 215K. Hasn't probably gone up as much as we'd hoped, but what do you think on that one? 5 names?
Bit of a slow burn. I reckon I think you keep him just to this slow burn. There isn't enough money. Still 215. Yeah, don't lie.
Tom Blamires, I don't think you jump off yet.
No.
If you're trying to upgrade via Blamires, I think maybe you just wait a week on that one. 28 break even, 61 versus the Tigers. Got hot late as well. Started pretty slow. And he's got GWS this week. I think we need to wait another week.
I think there are a bunch of guys like if you can only, if you have to go a week early, like back yourself in, trust your gut.
If they're the worst rookie you got.
Yes, but like a lot of guys, you can keep him going for just one more week kind of thing.
But if you've got the itchy trade fingers like Daddsy clearly has, then you might, that's why these guys are getting traded out and that's why we're talking about him. Leo Lombard I've only chucked in here because I just don't think I want him in my team.
No, I actually would like to trade. Like I know he's
only 199K.
I know, that's the thing. He's just...
At some point, you got to be like, is he ever going to get a spike score? Is he ever going to get the price going? And if not, let's just take the 60K or whatever he's made and run.
If it was a 99K guy around, you'd absolutely jump on that.
Yep. Now, these are 2 more tougher ones, not rookies. Well, not rookie priced anymore. They did begin the season pretty cheap. But Tanner Bruhn, you mentioned him earlier. Is it time to jump off Tanner? 59 break even, 56 against the Bulldogs on the weekend. He's got Port Adelaide this week. As 5 names and I mentioned, might have, been a bit hard done by some scaling and some early sort of inefficiencies. Got a bit busier later in the game, but at 384K, where do you sit, Daddsy?
I'm giving him another week, and I think most people should. As you said, scoring came late. Didn't get the favourable end of the scaling. He looks good. He's a great player, and he's clearly he's shown already throughout the Supercoach season that he's capable of scoring. I'm penciling him in for a bounce back game.
Lachlan McAndrew at the Crows. Bit of a quieter game on the weekend, but still 79. And we just expect so much now from the great man that's given us so much already. 356K though. Still time to go with 51 break even. How many more weeks? We've probably still got at least a couple more weeks.
Yeah, so you want
McAndrew.
You could, you like him to get to 400K. That'd be lovely.
At least, I think.
Yeah. Well, and then wait for Cherry to get down.
Yeah.
Yep. But who are we going down to? How many options do we have for our rookies? Oh, the bubble.
There's one name here, and it's like, how's this guy in there? And it's just you're just nuffing it up here, Dossy. Last guy on this list. All right, go.
Angry Anderson, I think, is the lock of the week. We're going to get to some targets soon, and somebody else running the segment today. Over here. But Angus Anderson, 113K mid, has looked fantastic. Should he be named for Collingwood, which we think he should? He's been playing great. Some comments after the game as well from teammates suggest that they're loving his work on the inside. Negative 75 break even. He's going to go up a heap in price this week. So here's the obvious choice. But if you went early, like some of us did over here, for old Dossy, there's only a few other options. And can we even look at these guys if we've already got an Angus? Samson Ryan, 166K. You've got to put him in the ruck as well, which is hard spot to have. Negative 32 break even. Scored an 86, but it was against a depleted North ruck. No Sherry there.
Was that the worst ruck battle of all time?
Maybe. But yeah, Hayes Brown was out of the Tigers side, so it was Samson Ryan, basically solo rucking. 166K for solo rucks, very nice. Nank's still a little way off, but what do you think?
Not for me.
Nah. Well, I do.
Got Gorney this week as well. They might have to bring someone back to help on that one. Now, Lewis Emmett for the Dogs. They've had to bring him in for English. Depends on English's availability and whether he stays in the side or not. But ruck only again, 113K, negative 25 break even. I wouldn't be going there. I don't think he's a promising signs for the future, but at the moment, don't know. Now, one guy who's been in my team from day dot for some reason, old Willie Lewis, 99K forward. Now, he is negative 1 break even, But if you're looking for cash and you're looking to downgrade and you desperately need a downgrade option, he might have to play for the Dogs. With Sam Darcy going down, he might have to play for the Dogs. He's a key forward that can do a bit of backup ruck.
I'm actually surprised you haven't said old Dossy beach balls or something like that. Yeah.
No need. Everyone already knows.
It's disgusting.
Would you boost him in?
Oh, boost. I wouldn't be using a boost. It's a good point if you don't have Angus. Yeah, but it's for anyone that doesn't have Angus.
Will Lewis.
Could you go, 99K is going to free up some cash.
You were crying out for a 99K.
I
need a 99K.
Yeah, I know.
Obviously, pending he still does stay in the team. By
Yeah,
the way.
no,
There was times that
I've been on this journey
Yeah.
with Dossy so far this season.
Was,
It may not be worth it.
It was a tough watch, to be honest. All right, let's talk about another player, though, who is on the bubble, but not at the basement price rookie. Could we go back to the well? Elijah Tsatas, 223K, negative 49 break even. Finally cracked into the Dons midfield. Finally playing time on ground, Daddsy. Could we finally back him in to actually make some cash this year?
I just don't know if I can.
Yep.
I think I started with him
too many times.
Well, because he had a really good preseason last year, scored really well. A lot of people started him, I think, when he was at 180K.
Yep.
So obviously cheaper than what he is now. But I'm fairly sure I brought him in, traded him out, and brought him back in.
Yes, I did the same last year.
And I just can't go back to the
4
well.
trades or whatever it was in the end.
Yeah.
How about you, Five Names? If you're desperate for cash, now I sort of mentioned it's a tricky week. It's an in-between week as to whether you target some. You mentioned a guy like Horn Francis might be on people's radar, a little bit cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're sort of just scrounging for some cash generation and the rest of your field's looking okay, could you go there for a little bit? Could you make some money off a Lockie Jakes or one of these other rookies that we've mentioned we could jump off, like a Sarong? You're making yourself 120K there. Or you're just making just under 100K, but you're still able to do something on the other end maybe next week. And maybe, hopefully, if he does hold that role, we know what Tsatas can do. He's a scorer.
Yeah. You're making a good point here, Dossy. I think it's just, we've all been burned, haven't we? This could,
Could end badly.
Could end badly. But if you got the stones to do it, could be a good one.
This is the one that Beach Balls likes the most, though. If you've already got Angus, so again, Angus Anderson, number one target. Yeah. Patrick Rechko. We talked about him all preseason, 119K. He's got a negative 24 break even. He's only played one game, so he's not on the bubble. Will not change price this week. But as opposed, there was 2 guys that played their first game of the weekend this season. So Charlie Edwards as well, 119K defender mid. A lot of Crows fans been waiting for him to come into the side. He's got a negative 7 break even. Played a lot of midfield in the void of, unfortunately, Jordan Dawson missing the game, of course. But out of those 2 games, I do like Patrick Rechko because of the injury to Sam Banks we mentioned at the top of the show, injury in the collarbone. He's been playing a lot of wing, surprisingly, this year for the Tigers. So Taranto's also concussed from the weekend, will miss this week. So if you've gone early on Angus and you need a rookie downgrade and you want to continue upgrade season and you want to start your journey, I think Rechko could have some job security going forward. Look good on the weekend.
I agree there, Dossy. I think he's the one with the better job security. Charlie was good game. And he's actually very good in preseason as well. It's just Dawson's coming back in. Dan Curtin's a couple of weeks away. The Crows have some players to come back. So I think it's like, is it going to be rough on him that he doesn't get much of a go? Yes, absolutely rough. But as we've seen with Nits, not too often you see the young guys come in and just get like a good run. So I think Charlie Edwards is, he might play this week. Is he going to play the week after? I don't know. I don't think, I'm a bit worried about his job security.
He's one that you can wait for sure on, but if you are desperate to continue that cadence, as we mentioned, you want to keep your upgrades going. I think Rechko, his job security could be pretty solid. He did, again, he passed the eye test on the weekend, was really trying hard for the Tigers. It's time for a new segment. You might be familiar with the music, but it is Dadsy's Deadeye.
Wow.
It is the top.
That's huge.
It is the top 5 targets from Daddsy. Take it away. Who have we got?
Angry Anderson coming in at number 1.
Yeah.
To fund any upgrade, you're going to need to go down to a bubble boy, and he is the number 1 target for me. Coming in at number 2, Lachie Whitfield. Looks to have bottomed out. And that's what this segment is about for me. I'm looking at value. I'm looking at the guys that have plateaued. and can't go down any further. So he's number 2.
Love it.
Number 3. Now, I'm still very surprised I didn't get a quote card on this from preseason.
This is your boy.
Archie Roberts.
No, what? Hang on.
I brought him up before you.
No, you didn't.
I did.
He's my breakout player. He was no.
The consensus team.
No. That was last
Phantom
year.
team.
It was last year.
You can both have him. All
No,
right.
no.
Is he in your
Okay.
team, 5 names?
Yeah, I started with him.
Is he in your team?
I started with him too.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
You're going to have to get the ruling from the fans here.
Yeah.
whose boy's Archie Roberts.
What?
Regardless, he's number 3
Number
on the
3.
targets on
Number 3.
Dadsy's Deadeyes.
He just looks really good as well. Like, I don't want to go too far in depth, but he looks, he's just getting as much footy as he
Top
wants.
6 defender.
Yeah, did you say he was going to be the breakout player of the year? No, I don't think you did.
I said, that's his pod. That's his pod.
4th target.
4th target. Jordan Clark, fresh
Yeah,
off
okay.
a 146, 44K down in price. He's 524K.
That does seem cheap for Geordie.
I owned him last year. He was a very, very fun own, very safe own.
Yeah.
I think you know what you're going to get with him. Plays the Blues at Optus this week, so juicy matchup. And number 5, bit of a rogue one, Rowan Marshall. Roma. He's back. He's back in discussions. He's got that forward status.
It depends on how long
Hang on a
TDK is going to be
second.
out for, isn't it? Yeah.
Pew, pew. I'm just getting his price up now.
I'm just,
401K.
Yeah, okay.
For a guy that
Forward status, yeah.
we know what he can average as a solo ruck, albeit TDK still don't know the severity of his injury, but
Let me ask you this, though. How long does TDK have to be out for when we get that news for you to be actually keen to bring him in? And what's it going to take? Like, you're just getting him for cash and points on field for a few weeks. He's basically coming in as a, mid-price kind of price riser.
it's a real luxury.
You're not
trade.
going to keep him,
no,
are you?
it's maybe 4 weeks.
I'd say a month.
Month for
Because
TDK.
I looked at the scores before this,
Yeah.
38, 66, 43, 40, and then 118 against the Troyes.
Nah, I love it, though, as a pod if TDK is
Yeah,
getting his
that's-
time.
that's
And you've
a
got to
lot.
have enough
Yeah.
trades in the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he would be that stepping stone. Like if you can't quite, if you're looking to trade like a Todd Marshall or like a Philippou, and you're looking for someone, you can't quite get up to a Cozzy, a Petrarca, those kind of types, Justin McInerney. If you're capped at that kind of 400K limit and you need a stepping stone, Romar's your guy.
I like a bit of spice, bit of difference in the top targets this week. Dadsy's Deadeye. I think we...
Still can't believe you're claiming Archie Roberts. This is
I'm
actually
absolutely-
ridiculous. I will go. I'm on a busy day. I'll go back through the
There's
tape.
someone in Melbourne that would also have.
Yeah, I know.
Clay, right?
Yeah, I thought my
You
main
guys
issue
can all
was
share
cash.
him. He's a great player, right? He's jumping in. So I'm looking at another little just new segment to talk about some other targets that the people are looking at this week. So not just the players that we're interested in, but it is the people's choice.
Nice one.
Yeah, I like that one. So Angus, top of the list, Elijah Tsatas, people backing him in at the moment, second most traded in at the time of recording. Christian Petrarca, where do we sit on him? He's got a high break even. I think it's around 150 now, but he was almost on track for a monster game against the Dons and then just quietened down. I think he was on nearly 80 at halftime, finished on just over 100. Could you go to track?
I think you wait. Just maybe one more. Wait for that break even. Because, you're going to want him at some point. He's going to be a top 6 forward, probably top 2.
Okay. A couple of other names. Jordan Clark, we mentioned, in Dadsy's Deadeye, so it could be a good option there. Patrick Rechko, clearly a lot of people went early on Angus Edison, like me. I agree. I think he's a good target. Bailey Smith, would you pay up now? You've got him. You're a proud owner.
I am a proud owner. He's very expensive. I would be more inclined to keep the 50K and go as teammate Max Holmes.
Okay.
I don't think you're getting a lot of value out of Baz. You know what you're getting, but for 678K, it's a lot to pay.
It is a lot. Cozzy Pickett, he's a guy, 540K now, 5 names. I think he's probably shown enough that he's going to be a top 6 forward now. I think we've seen enough. And I believe at the time of recording as well that he's probably going to be cleared by the MRO. There was an incident where a high sort of bump, but I think that's going to be okay. So we could be looking at him. He's got Richmond and West Coast in the next 3 weeks, I believe.
Jeez, yeah, that's tempting. That's real tempting, isn't it?
Here's a couple other options. Luke Parker, Zach Merritt, Jason Horn-Francis. are the other guys people are bringing in.
Lou Parker's just got that role, doesn't he? He's like, I mean, he's a bit more. He's real. His prices stands out. Like in terms of it's a bit more expensive than you'd actually think it is. But
It's
he's
gone up.
the role's juicy there.
Guess who owns him?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
That's his diamond.
Still to come. Charlie Edwards, and to round it out, and a guy we haven't touched on yet who could be in the same mould and a bit cheaper, about 75k cheaper than Roma, who you were sort of spruiking a little bit as well, is Cam Zurhaar. So didn't come up in Dadsy's Deadeyes.
He was there at the start.
He was.
He was in the first draft of Dadsy's Deadeyes. Need to wait a week.
Yeah,
Definitely need to wait a week.
That's fair.
So, guys, if you didn't catch the game, Zurhaar, there was quotes after the game as well. We did a couple of quoties for that one. But basically, Harry Sheasel mentioned it. So did Clarko. There was a switch. Cam Zurhaar went into defence and Colby McKercher played as a forward. And it was a direct swap. We've seen Parker, how he's been playing this year. Clarko even mentioned it, the value of Parker down there and then adding Zurhaar to that mix. He also kind of mentioned they had 6 snags from... who kicked 6 for North? It was their
Paul Curtis
kicked 6, and
and
he's like,
Trembar's obviously killing it.
And basically, Clarko was like, was the 6 goals related to him playing in Zurhaar's role? Zurhaar sort of shifted out and providing great value for defence. Dropped a monster score down there, 140 as a forward, 315k. Daddsy, you're not in your top 5, but slightly interested.
He's honourable mention.
Okay.
He's number 6. And next week, if he has the role, he'll be in the top 3.
Yeah, Richmond, tough one to gauge how real it is, given Richmond give up a lot of points to defenders. But 5 names, is he on your radar as well? Or
I think you just wait another week to see. The price is still tempting, but just wait a week because you don't want to get burned. All of a sudden, he's back forward and then doing nothing.
All right, we're going to get into it's a pew pew off now. We're going into pew pew off. Ooh. So this is usually unique names with 5 names, but we've also got our special guest.
Who's just going to copy my pee?
We've got Dadsy's Diamonds here as well. So we're having a pot off, and I think we should bring in yet another punishment that hopefully one of these gets done. You hit a punishment. Fans, do your punishment. Dossy, do your punishment. I'll do mine from buy, hold, sell, but it's up to you guys. So I've proposed here. So the lowest average from now to the end of the season, we revisit it. Lowest one has to do a punishment out of these 2 pods.
Okay.
Deal? All right. So who's going to go first? Unique names with 5 names.
All right, sweet. Here we go. All right. This guy is less than 1% owned.
Oh. Yep.
And a Brownlow medalist.
Okay.
Matt Rao.
All right. Yep.
Good luck with that.
Does that count? He's been injured. He's been injured.
It's under 10%. It's unique. No. He's under 1% owned.
I'm
5 names just come in to win here.
I was thought,
That's cheap.
Good thing I didn't go my honourable mention when at one point in the first half I was like, geez, Jack Ginnivan's a good option. And then he faded. But no, so Matt Rao, he's come back, obviously a bit slow against Melbourne at the G, and now 125. Break evens now 127. He's 43k down on his opening price. He is ripe for the picking as a midfield. Well, it's very close. It's very close to be to come in. You can get a nice little primo midfielder. Could be a top 8 midfielder. Good luck. Good luck, Daddsy.
Oh, he's gone for the...
You know what you're doing.
He's gone for the throat there.
That is weak. That is coward.
Well, he's having my guy. I didn't even realise that Dossy actually said. I was just like, oh.
All right. Take it away. That's good.
Right. The underdog. Here we go.
The underdog. Dadsy's Diamonds.
Already mentioned him, but I'm so big on this guy because I own him. Brought him in a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. He's dropped a 129 and a 120 since then, and his heat map looks incredible. Luke Parker.
Yep. I reckon you got a chance here.
I think I do. Is it total points from here or is it average from here?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Who knows?
What would you propose we go with?
We'll probably forget about it anyway.
Luke Parker's aging body be Rao.
All right. I love the pods though. We got Parker and Rao. A bit of a low blow there. Five those going for the peak.
Yeah, we shouldn't have claimed Archie Roberts.
We back it in. Now, to finish off our discussion and figure out if it really is upgrade season just yet. We've talked about the value picks. We've talked about some of the rookies on the bubble. Let's talk about some of the big fallers in weeks to come. And I think this is where to me, I don't think we're quite there. I don't think we're quite at upgrade season just yet for the easy one up, one downs and the guys that we're going to keep season long. So that's why I think it's probably time to look for value.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But these are the guys that we can target in future weeks. I'm just going to fly through them.
Yes.
These are the high break evens that in a couple of weeks' time are going to look very juicy on the price if you don't own these guys. And unfortunately, they're going to lose a bit of cash if you do own them. The Bont. Obviously a hold for anyone that's got him, we think. Anyway, there is a case to be made. Obviously, some people trading him out to find cash, and he's projected to lose $50,000 this week is the Bont. But the Bont's going to be right for the picking in a week or two. Hugh McCluggage, 185 break even, is going to plummet as well, and he's going to find the sweet spot for him. He's going to get real cheap as well, Plug. So he's going to be probably in a lot of teams in a couple of weeks' time. Maxi Gawn, 185 break even. Tommy Stewart, 181. Brayshaw, Andy Brayshaw. I don't even
think you go there.
I don't even know if I'd be targeting him.
Oh, no.
What's wrong with
Tommy
him?
Stewart, to be honest.
No.
I don't know. 169 break even, though. He's just
He's
so
going to be under
up and down.
500k soon.
Yeah.
So up and down.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a case to be made that you could target him.
Yeah,
But
you got to see. You may have to see like a couple of games.
yeah, I'm going to need some more, though. Noah Anderson, for those who didn't hold 168 break even, when he does eventually return, he's going to be nice priced eventually. We got Grundy, 158. He might be continuing to hit those, though.
Yeah.
Sarong, 154 as well. He's been a little bit disappointing just on the weekend, but up and down. Petrarca, 150. We mentioned probably going to be targeting him very shortly. And Lockie Ash, 147 as well. Now, he moved a little bit into the midfield on the weekend, which was an interesting development.
Keep an eye on that one.
Keep an eye on that one. But what's your verdict? Is it time to go one up, one down to the primos, or are we still targeting some of the value guys? Should we be looking at a Zurhaar a bit more seriously? Should we be targeting a Tsatas, or are we looking more at the guys like you think have bottomed out, a Whitfield, an Archie Roberts, maybe a Jordan Clark? Where are we landing? Is it upgrade season officially?
Yes.
It is.
And I always, my thing with trading is it's just always value. I think I never really like paying out for the big dogs. And I've paid the price with that already this year, paying out for Bont. And I think I've learnt my lesson, and you just got to target those guys that present really good value.
Yep.
And that is the Whitfield, the Jordan Clarks, and a lot of these guys that are on that list at the moment. Worth noting as well, Tristan Sherry will have a 190 break even, or projected 190 break even in a couple of weeks when that 199 goes out of the cycle. So he will be cheap soon as well.
He's bringing some serious value to the show.
I
So
know,
that's
look
it.
at him go.
Upgrade season.
What about you, Five Names?
Yeah, I think you still look for the value now. Knowing that these guys are out there, your Bont, your McCluggage, Noah Anderson, those kind of midfielders, Matt Rao, those guys who still may lose a little bit of cash. Yeah, look for more value around. I'd say maybe like forward defense kind of thing, rather than actually, go for those big dog midfielders.
Right, we'll get into all the big buys, holds, and sells in our buy, hold, sell show on Tuesday. I think Five Names is the plan that you're going to be joining.
Yeah, I think so. Someone's got to step up.
One of these two lads will be joining me, whoever's available. But we've got to finish off, of course, with Dossy's deep fry. And it couldn't be any other than the Phantom in the deep fryer this week. When did we find out that Fant wasn't going to be on the shows this week?
Oh,
I'll tell you, I've got the timestamp. 12:01, Sunday morning, technically. Oh, yeah, sorry, boys, won't be there for Monday, Tuesday. Away this week.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry, lads, he's sizzling away in the deep fry, in Dossy's deep fry, because that's not on. He wanted the listeners to know, oh, yeah, I was still working at midnight, though. Still burning the midnight oil. Old Fant. Anyway, he's off this week, but he's also off in SuperCoach because he's going to have to lift, I think.
Yeah.
Down to
he's in
26
trouble.
trades.
He's in
No
trouble.
good. Where are we thinking this week? What's our early trade thoughts before we sign off here, lads? I'm honestly looking toward a Tsatas
Oh boy.
I'm thinking, I reckon,
or a Rechko.
one of the, maybe like Sarong down to Anderson, and then I'd love to get get Horny one or Chad Warner or someone like that in, trying to look for that value in the forward line still.
Yeah. I think for me, if Sherry or Anderson or both, well, Sherry will be back. So if Anderson's back as well, that might tempt me to just hold off almost trades. Maybe dump one of a Sarong type, but sort of maybe gain some trades back this week in a week that I've already got Angus Anderson. So anyone that does, maybe we just hold off a week. So there is a case to be made that it's not quite upgrade season, but I think I'm overruled here. But Daddsy, what about you? What's your early thoughts?
Well, I'm 1K short of doing Grill to Anderson and Sarong to Clark. And I would have loved to have traded Grill, but I'm going to have to settle for trading Jagger instead.
Yeah. Okay.
And just get that extra K. So that leaves me with 900 buckaroos post trades.
Very nice.
I think that's good. I'm happy
That
with
is
that.
solid. Five names, do us the honour and sign us off here. You're in Phantom's chair.
I
So
am. This is nice. This is actually really nice here. Yep. Tomorrow, big buy, hold, sell with myself and the Chief. What are they? I don't know. It's Phantom will end the show.
we need Fant back. We need him back.
No, all right. Thanks for tuning in. Good luck.
See you next time.
See you next time.